Hello and welcome back. Today is Saturday, March 8th. I have your 5 best bets for you. That's 5 plays in one video for you in the NBA today. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the page. We have a beautiful 8-game NBA slate ahead of us today. Just like this whole week, though, we got to get through a few of the bad games here, but some of these games late here are just chef's kiss. Some of the best matchups we'll get on the whole week, coming off of 2 straight great nights of NBA primetime matchups overall. Who would have thought we would have to survive those early primetime games just to get some of these cream of the crop games overall? 8-game slate here today. Brooklyn versus Charlotte kick us off early on. One of the lowest over-unders on the day, 215. Brooklyn -3. Interesting game to say the least. If you're a sicko, that's the ultimate tankathon matchup over here overall. New Orleans Pelicans versus Rockets. They're running it back from the other day. 227 over-under, -8. Indiana Atlanta. They're running it back from the other day. The over-under is no longer that 253 number. It's at 243 in this matchup here. Still going to be a great high-scoring game overall. Washington to Toronto. I wrote nothing down. I fucking hate Toronto after that quickly game against against Orlando. If you guys watched me tilt from that earlier this week, wrote nothing down. That game is a fugazi. It's a fugazi. It's fairy dust. It does not exist in my head overall. Orlando versus Milwaukee. Beautiful matchup. Now, that's a great game. It's one of the another low over-under, 216, but I think this one's crept up a little bit as I've recorded this or started this whole morning. Milwaukee -6 favorites. This game's going to be a ton of fun. That's a good same-game parlay game if you're just doing the star players like I like to do overall. Chicago versus Miami. That's actually going to be a pretty fun game overall. I'm interested to see what the Miami Heat lineup is overall, but Bulls, hey, they're pretty injured, but a lot of the young guys have been fun to play, and 229 over under, 4-point spread. I think that game's going to be way more fun than we anticipated. And then the cream of the crop, the best games of the slate. We get Detroit versus Golden State, 230 over under, Golden State 5-point favorite. I'm very excited to see this matchup. Cade versus Curry, Jimmy Butler versus Mikal Beasley or Tobias Harris, but some Draymond Green playing Jalen Durden. That's going to be a fun game overall. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch overall. And then the best game, future NBA final preview. We're going to have the Lakers in the Garden, 225 over under, Boston -6. Everyone in Boston, I assume, is healthy. I'm not fully sure about Drew Holiday. He's like the only one that I have not confirmed. He's still like a game time decision, but I assume it's the Lakers. They always play against the Lakers, but that game is going to be the best game on the slate. It's going to be on ABC. It's going to be the primetime matchup. We get Duke, North Carolina today. Beautiful, beautiful basketball day today. Sun is shining here in Chicago as well. It's a beautiful day overall. So before we jump into today's plays, weird pause there. Before we jump into today's plays, we got to recap yesterday's action, and yesterday in the NBA, ended up going 1 and 2 in best bets yesterday. Just came back down to earth. Hand up, I went to bed. I missed out on the best game of the day. The overtime, the Jokic 30-20-20 game. Yeah, I missed it. I was an old man last night, and I much needed the sleep. I clocked out good, but I was waking up today because I knew today was just going to be a beautiful basketball game. And not going to lie, the game was a 20-point blowout at half, so I was like, this game's over. But Kevin Durant, 25-plus points. He took care of business. I saw he hit the buzzer beater to go into overtime, so I appreciate you. Jamal Murray in that same game, the fuck was that? Overtime matchup, and you still finished with 19 points. Started off the game with 2 dongs, had 4 points early, and he fell shy. And then De'Aaron Fox, man, I respect you. You took as many shots as you could. That one, revenge game narrative. The stats wasn't going into it. I was more having fun, just not having fun, but I thought he was going to ball out, and the shots were there. He took plenty of shots early on, just how it's been for De'Aaron Fox. They've just not been falling for him overall. But 1 and 2 day. Got 5 plays here. I'm wanting a 5-0 sweep. I'm feeling a 5-0 sweep. And let's just jump into it for my first play of the day. Going to be running it back from the other day here. Indiana, Atlanta, 243 over under. And they're giving us the same number for Trae Young. So give me Trae Young to go over 11.5 assists, coming in at -135 on FanDuel. He's gotten this over 4 for his last 5 games, averaging 12.8 assists per game, with coming in this matchup with 4 straight overs on his assists overall. He's got this over 3 for his last 3 versus Indiana. We just took his over where he just had 16 assists. He's averaging 15 assists per game. His last 3 games versus Indiana, he had 12, 17, 16 assists in those games. Within those games, he had potential assists of 26, 25, and 23 potential assists. So he even had more assist opportunities left on the table. I think that's a great spot here. That's a great sign for this spot here overall, where Indiana on the season allows the 7th most assists to the point guard position. Indiana, these last 30 games, allowed the 11th most assists per game. Indiana, these last 15 games, allowed the 3rd most assists. And Indiana, these last 7 games, allow the 5th most assists. So all season, they've been giving up a lot of assists to the point guard positions because they play with a high pace of play overall. Trae Young, he's gone over 5 for his last 5 games, averaging 13.6 assists per game, 55% hit rate on the season, which we love that. 4 straight overs coming in this matchup. He's playing 35 plus minutes in the last 10 for his last 10 games with a 22 plus percentage rate in every single one of them. So he's going to be playing. He plays a lot of the game. You'd think as the season is going on, they would pull him, but they don't own their pick. They need Trae Young to keep playing here. He has a high usage rate overall. I have a projected at 12 assists in this matchup here overall. We're running it back from the other day. He's gotten this over 3 for his last 3 with potential of 23 plus in his last 3 versus them. 243 over under. If you want a different play, if it's not that same number, I love the rebounds assist as well. I think it's at 14.5 as well, because last game he easily skyrocketed that as well. So if you don't see 11.5 assists, a nice pivot play would be rebounds assists at 14.5. Still beautiful matchup. I think he had rebound chances of 6 plus in the last 3 of his matchups. So little option plays there if you don't see the 11.5 there on the assist. But Trae Young, he's going to be passing us an assist here. So give me Trae Young to go over 11.5 assists. And jumping into my second play of the day, going to be in this Orlando-Milwaukee Bucks matchup here. This one, I think, is like a can't go wrong kind of game. It's a low over under 216. I think it's at 217 now or 218 now. Milwaukee 6-point spread at home. Whenever the Bucks are at home and whenever we get a slam dunk matchup right here, we've been taking point guards against the Orlando Magic since Jalen Suggs been ruled out. I'm going to continue it. So give me Damian Lillard to go over 23.5 points coming in at minus 125 on DraftKings. Orlando allows the 2nd most points to the point guard position these last 7 games. Orlando allows the 6th most points to the point guard position these last 15 games. So great opportunity here overall where Dame has cooked the Orlando Magic. He's gotten this over 3 for his last 3 against them, scoring 28, 29, and 30. Nice little progression right there from him overall. Love that overall. He's only gotten this over 2 for his last 5, so he's kind of doing this matchup for last game. He did get his over and only played 25 plus minutes, so that's good consistency. Why I love it so much, 70% hit rate at home this season, averaging 26.1 points per game, 100% hit rate versus the Magic at home overall, and he's gone over 7 for his last 10 home games overall as well, averaging 27.2 points per game overall. He's gone over 7 for his last 8 games versus the Orlando Magic, averaging 28.4 points per game. He sees those stars, those Orlando Magic Blues. He probably sees Orlando and is like, wow, I wish I could play in Florida. I'd like to take my kids to Disneyland, and Magic are there. Let's dominate the Magic here overall. And Magic, we've been targeting them. They've been giving up huge games to point guard positions. Trae Jones just had 20 plus points quickly. I fucking hate you for the other time, but could have easily cashed his over the 15-point game, but the time before that had 24 plus points. Stephen Curry, we took that over 56. John Morant, 23. Trae Young, 38. And Jamal Sneed had back-to-back overs for him overall. I have him projected at 25 plus points in this game. I think Giannis is a great play in this matchup. I think Dame is a great play in this matchup. I could even see Franz and Paolo for all having a great game here overall. So I think this game is going to be a fun star power matchup game here overall. 216 over under. I think this is going to go a little higher. So if you're a point total guy, I think this game is going to be a little higher than what it shows here overall. And Orlando's been pretty scrappy, so I think this game's going to be very good overall. And I think Damian Lillard is going to ball out like he has 3 for his last 3 versus Orlando. Orlando allowing the 2nd most points to the point guard position, so give me Dame Lillard to go over 23.5 points on DraftKings. Jumping into the 3rd play of the day for my 3rd play of the day in the Chicago-Miami Heat matchup here. I really wanted to take Kobe White over points in this matchup, 229 over under. So if you want another play for that game, Kobe White points at 20.5, I think is a good play. He's been balling out, but I'm riding the hot hand here on the overall. We've been taking the Giddler. We're going to keep riding my guy here. So give me Joshua Giddey. I don't think it's Joshua. So give me Josh Giddey, the Giddler, to go over 32.5 points, rebounds, assists. Again, the same number again. We keep riding this. I'm going to keep riding it. And it's on, wow, it's minus 105 on DraftKings Miami. Just letting you know right now, last game, Trae Jones is the starting point guard. So now Josh Giddey has been moved down to the small forward position in Miami, allows the 9th most rebounds and the 7th most assists to the small forward position these last 30 games. And Josh Giddey just got his over against them pretty recently. He had 36 PRAs versus them in his most recent matchup. He's gotten this over 3 for his last 5 versus Miami overall, averaging 32 PRAs overall. And why we've been loving this is he's gotten this over 5 for his last 5 games, averaging 40.4 points, rebounds, assists. Coming in this matchup with 7 straight overs for that number, getting 34 plus PRAs in all 7 of them, and he's gotten 39 plus PRAs in 6 of those 7 games. So beautiful beautiful consistency overall from Josh Giddey. There's no Io, maybe no Lonzo Ball. Watch out for that one. But no Io in the matchup. When there's no Lonzo or Io in the lineup overall, Josh Giddey has gone over 2 for his last 2, averaging 37.5 PRAs overall. He's gone over 61% of the games when he plays 29 plus minutes and has a 20% usage rate overall, and he's been doing that pretty much every single game post All-Star break. He's gone over 8 for his last 10 games post All-Star break. And the majority of it's been beautiful. 29 plus minutes. He's been playing 30 plus these last 10, 20% usage rate overall. In Miami, low-key have been giving up some big games to the small forward position. Jaden McDaniels just had 23. Strus and Hunter both hit those overs for the Cavs. Chris Middleton on the Wizards hit his over. RJ Barrett dominated them, and both Dallas Mavericks small forwards in their last matchup hit their over for PRAs overall. I have him projected at 34 PRAs in this matchup here overall. Giddey, 7 straight overs. Miami allowing the 9th most rebounds and the 7th most assists. Giddey, he has been on fire post All-Star break. I'm riding the hot hand overall. If you want another pivot play, I think always Bulls suck at guarding the center position, so Bam Adebayo would be another great pivot play. I know Bulls stink at the assist to the point guard position, so you could even go Tyler Hero assist. I do like Kobe White over points as well. He's been hot, 4 straight overs, and I think he has great consistency of getting his over as well. So I think all those are great plays. I think this game's going to be a lot of fun. 229 over under. I think this game's going to hit the over as well. I think Josh Giddey, though, is going to be dominant. Another 40-point PRA game for us. So give me Josh Giddey, the Giddler, to go over 32.5 points, rebounds, assists, coming at minus 105 on DraftKings. And for my 4th play of the day, woo! A lot of plays going on here. This could be for the late game in the Detroit Golden State Warriors matchup. I normally keep my bets between FanDuel and DraftKings because those are the most consistently available and more consistently everyone has these plays. But this one I'm going to ESPNBET because the number, I just was shocked when I was scrolling through it. I hope it's still there for you guys. And that's Cade Cunningham. I don't get this number. There could be sleep, and then no wonder the ESPNBET app, it might be going a little down. Steven's A-list. I think this is a DaWiddler's A-list, or I don't have a really fun punny name for myself with that. But give me Cade Cunningham to go over 24.5 points, coming at minus 120 on ESPNBET. Yeah, minus 120 on ESPNBET. I see this line, a majority of books being at 26 or 25.5 already, so we get a nice little point discount overall. And Cade, he's only gotten this over 2 for his last 5, but he's the ultimate road warrior. He's been a better player than he is on the road. He's gone over 5 for his last away games, averaging 31.6 points per game. He's gotten this over 2 for his last 2 against the Warriors, averaging 31 points per game overall. Excuse me. 57% hit rate on the road this season, averaging 26.3 points per game overall. He has gone over 8 for his last 10 games on the road as well, averaging 29.6 points per game. Mr. Consistent, the ultimate road warrior. Love my road warriors overall. I've projected at 27 plus points in this game. He's averaging 18 field goal attempts in the last 10 games with back-to-back 24 plus shot games in the last 2 games. And when Cade Cunningham takes 20 plus shots in a game, he gets the over 67% of the time in this marker overall. Cade, he loves to drive in the lane and work on his little floater game. And guess what? Golden State Warriors allow the 30th most points in the key, which is the worst in the league. And that's where Cade Cunningham takes 37% of his shots. So give me Cade, those little bumps, those little floaters, those little stops and little pops. 35% of his shots come from there. Golden State Warriors, 30th most points overall. I just don't get this number. This could be the ultimate trap. The trap is my trap, or the ESPN bet just not giving a fuck anymore. But the majority of these lines are at 26 or 25 on all other books overall. I think FanDuel is the most sharp. I always go off of them as the biggest point. And ESPN bet has this at 24.5, and I'll gladly take their mistake here. So give me Cade Cunningham to go over 24.5 points coming in at -120 on ESPN bet. I really, before we jump to my last bet, I really wanted to take Stephen Curry over points. Maybe work on a same game parlay with Stephen Curry overall, or even Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has great consistency. I might even have a same game parlay down below in the comments section. So always make sure to check that, or make sure to check my Twitter at DaWiddler. And if you're continuing to watching at this point, why haven't you liked or subscribed at this point? We like to have fun here. I like to go through all the games, go through these continuously one takes. Yeah, I mess up a lot, and sometimes these I say some weird stuff overall. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these overall. It's definitely been fun doing just one continuous take overall. But you guys are here for the plays. For my fifth and final play of the day, who's that wrestler? It was Booker T. My little Booker T reference right there if you love wrestling. I used to do back in the day just like everyone. But the Lakers versus Boston, the NBA Finals preview here overall. This game is going to be awesome. I think this game is going to be probably one of the most watched games in the NBA this season. It's on ESPN or ABC at 7:30 here overall. And LeBron James' number, I think, is just a little too low for him here. So give me LeBron James, LeGoat, the Mr. Steroid himself. Give me LeBron James to score 25-plus points coming in at -120 on FanDuel. He's gotten this over 8 for his last 10 games, averaging 41 points per game. I don't think that's right. I think he's averaging 31 points per game. My bad. He's gotten this over 4 for his last 5, averaging 28.6 points per game overall. He's gotten this over 3 for his last 5 versus the Celtics, averaging 28 points per game overall. Yeah, the Celtics do a pretty good job on guarding the power forward position, but low-key, these last 10 games, they've been giving up some big games to the small forward position overall. Tuma Kinyar, the Portland Trailblazers power forward, I totally butchered that. He got his over. Dean Wade, his over-under was at 4. He got 6. Evan Mobley balled in his matchup. He scored 17. Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. Yes, Tobias Harris had 16. Harrison Barnes had 21. PG-13 was PG-17 in their matchup. Harrison Barnes again 14, and Bam Adebayo had 22-plus points. So last 10 games, Boston Celtics have given up some big games to the power forward position, and LeBron James has gone over 9 for his last 10 games, averaging 27.9 points per game. And now he's back in the Garden. Where in the last time he played in the Garden, he had 41 points in that game. Love that overall. I have him projected at 28 points in this matchup here. The Luka bump has helped him scoring overall. LeBron James is just as good as a catch-and-shoot player than he is on the road. And then the Celtics, they kind of stink at people that drive in the paint. The 25th most point. They're 25th in defending people driving to the paint, and I think LeBron and Luka will be spamming like you play in 2K, that little pick and roll action that they love to do. They're going to be getting a lot of LeBron high screen, and he's going to roll, and I think in this matchup he's going to come out with a thunderous game. 225 over under. This game is going to be chef's kiss, the best game on the slate, unless the Celtics just bang every three, it seems like they do on these massive primetime games. But LeBron James will score 25-plus points coming at -120 on FanDuel is my fifth play. And then those are my 5 best bets for you. Just going to rattle them off again for you. LeBron James, 25-plus points. Cade Cunningham, over 24.5 points on ESPNBET. Josh Giddey, the Giddler from DaWiddler, over 32.5 point PRAs. Damian Lillard, over 23. I do love Giannis over points in that matchup. And then Trae Young, we're running it back for you because you love playing the Pacers, over 11.5 assists. Those are my 5 plays for you. Let me know down below what's your favorite play in the NBA. Could be in college as well. I always love to tell what you guys have down below. I haven't had one of you guys tell me a play. I'm itching. Let me know down below. I'm always willing to tell you guys. Let's cash these tickets together. Hopefully having a wonderful day. Keep on smiling, and I will see you in the next one.